Student clients, welcome back to another edition of the NMS e-learning systems YouTube channel, brought to you by the DLA Guru.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. The world of YouTube. The world of YouTube, the world of YouTube. The DLA Guru is back in the building. Yes, I am in the building. 2 minutes late getting my live stream going. I had a few technical difficulties on my side of the coin over here, building it while I'm flying it, But, I never try not to deliver some value to you guys. So the delay is definitely, hopefully going to be multiplied as far as the benefit to today's live stream. To all of my subscribers and my watchers out there in the YouTube space, thank you again for taking some time out of your busy schedules on this beautiful Saturday morning here in Dallas, Texas, to spend some time with yours truly, the DLA Guru, to talk anything and everything related to the DLA. Looks like I have 4 concurrent viewers in the building. Thank you for those eyes and ears on my content. As you guys know, I love to see some likes kind of coming in the building there. So if you get a chance, hit me a couple of likes to let me know that you're loving what the DLA Guru is cooking. You loving seeing me in here in these YouTube streets, because I got a fantastic show for you guys today. As you can see in the title, we're going to be talking a little bit about the SBA economic what does the I stand for again? Economic, let's see, I'm having a brain fart, but EIDL loan charge-offs. I think it's injury. I couldn't get that word out. So economic injury disaster loans. That's what we're talking about today. All right, let me get my mind straight here. Yeah, because it's a fantastic show. Got a lot for you guys. I've done a lot of research. I've actually helped a few clients with this issue. So strap in and hopefully you enjoy it. But thanks again for the concurrent viewers out there. It doesn't look like I got any likes. Can I get a few likes in the building there? Just a few likes. As you guys know, today is my bi-monthly live stream that's scheduled for all of my Brigadier General level members, as well as my Patreon members who have subscribed to my closed circuit members only content. And today we will be doing a closed circuit StreamYard 101 powwow to talk anything and everything related to the DLA. And I'm looking forward to having that discussion. But the first 20 minutes or so of this public forum, I always like to kind of open it up to have you guys know a little bit more about me, Kiwi Hendricks, the DLA Guru, as well as what my content's all about, so you guys get to know me on a more personal level. And of course, I'll be fielding any questions that you guys may have as it relates to the subject today, which we're talking about SBA economic injury disaster loans. I couldn't get the I out. I had a few thoughts in my head at the same time, when you have that log jam of thoughts coming in. But the EIDL loan charge-offs that has impacted small businesses across the country, and it's only going to get worse. All right, guys. And so I figured I wanted to kind of use this platform to talk a little bit more about things that related to not only you being a DLA contractor, but that is also larger than just a DLA, just being a federal contractor, and how some of what's happening with these loans are negatively impacting small businesses to perform against federal contracts. And we're going to get into the details on that. Great. So I got 3 likes, 4 concurrent viewers. And if we got any Brigadier Generals in the building or any of my Patreon members in the building, feel free to send me a message in the chat there. And let me go over to the comments. Look, I got some comments kind of flowing in here. Okay, hey, we got James in the building. James in the building. Hey, James, you won 2. Man, let me put this on the screen here, man, before I dive into my presentation today. But good old James there out in North Carolina won 2 contracts this week. Says he has a question. Only one of the contracts is in VSM. Have you ever seen a contract show up in VSM after you've won it? Yes, James. Sometimes the VSM folks are a little slow to market, and getting those contracts loaded in, what I highly recommend you do is just call the 800 number, the VSM help desk, let them know that you need some help getting that contract manually loaded into VSM for you to have some visibility to it. And that's how you solve it. It's not a complete, perfect system, VSM. I would probably say 20% of the time we have to call VSM to kind of, rattle the cage a bit to get those contracts loaded into VSM, but it's not something that's a major issue. And I think that help desk is open fairly, I think they have pretty good office hours. I know it's not 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but Monday through Friday during normal business hours, feel free to give them a call. It's no brainer. Cool. Well, thank you for the comment there, James. All right, cool. So, hey guys, all right, we're 8 minutes into this and we got 6 concurrent viewers. Fantastic. 4 likes. You guys are showing the DLA Guru a little love. I'm really appreciating that. But hey, I've been spending a lot of time. The past 3 weeks have been a very tumultuous experience, but good news. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about what's going on with this SBA EIDL loan charge-offs. And I'm looking forward to sharing some of this information with you guys. So let me go ahead and get the presentation underway. Let's see here. Let me share my screen here. Let me get that up and popping. Let's see here. We got that. And we're going to share it. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, cool. And hey, by the way, keep those comments coming in the chat. Hey, we got Firebird Optics in the building. Fantastic. Hey, Firebird Optics, I believe you're a commander level member, not Brigadier General. But I see you got a comment there as well. I'm gonna go ahead and show this one comment on screen before we dive into my presentation today. See Firebird Optics states, hey Kiwi, do you ever nudge contract officers if you've submitted a bid and it's been sitting there unwarded for a long time? Yes, we definitely do. And it's highly recommended that you nudge them, especially if you submitted a bid. Shoot an email, and it's not really the contract officer, it's the contract administrator. But yeah, you shoot them an email. I believe it may be in block. Do I have a solicitation here in front of me? No, I don't. I think it's in block 4 or block 6, one of those two. And just shoot them an email. Let them know that, hey, you've been on the contract and you're just kind of wondering when the anticipated award date will be. A lot of times you can rattle their cage. What I'm learning, talking with the DLA, is that sometimes those contract administrators are so bogged down in the contracts that they don't even know that they have an action that's in their inbox. So it's always good to go ahead and rattle their cage a little bit and let them know that you are ready to perform if your price is what the DLA is looking for. And hey, and good luck to you. Hopefully that works out for you and you get a traceability request and you're off to the races. Okay, great. So hey, we got 10 concurrent viewers in the building. Thank you for joining me today. Take a look at the title, because today is going to be one of these sessions, one of these presentations that I think hopefully it should help a lot of people out here in the YouTube streets, federal contractors alike, as we are navigating, trying to keep our companies afloat and getting government contracts to support the U.S. federal government, as well as the DLA, the Defense Logistics Agency, the largest customer on the face of the earth. Okay, great. So as you can see on screen, let me change my view here so I can kind of give you guys the best experience. But for those of you who are new to me, new to my content, my name is Kiwi Hendricks, as I said earlier. I am the U.S. Government Sales Manager with the National Material Supply Company. I have been servicing the U.S. federal government by way of the U.S. military through the Defense Logistics Agency for over 20 years. And I have coined the name the DLA Guru in this space because there isn't much I haven't seen as it relates to DLA contracting. And I think that this is an opportune time to express to you and to provide to you guys access to me by way of my knowledge base, what's between my ears, in order to support your businesses, small, medium, and large, who may be new to the DLA or even working with the DLA, but to teach you different methods and processes to scale your business in order to be even more successful with doing business with the DLA, with vendor networking, and building a community around DLA vendors as we go after our piece of the pie, and that is with DLA government contracting. Fantastic. So welcome to my channel. welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you've ever heard of me, yes, I'm a little rough around the edges, but as you get to know me, you'll realize that I have a really big heart and I'm all about supporting small businesses. I always throw this slide up in my presentations because as a content creator in the YouTube space, your subscriptions matter so much to me. It's free just to click the subscribe button. It's right there. If you're on your phone or your computer, just click the subscribe button. Get to know me. Let me know that you're kind of loving what I'm cooking. I got a fantastic catalog full of content related to the DLA. So your subscription will not go unnoticed because it lets me know that you guys are loving what the DLA Guru is cooking in the building. And by all means, as you guys know, I love the likes. The likes let me know that you kind of like it. Hey, if you dislike it, go ahead and hit the thumbs down too. Because if you don't dislike it, let me know you don't like what I'm talking about. And you know, that kind of feedback does matter to me as well. And that'll just only help me help you so I can get out better content. And by all means, please leave comments in the comment section of any of my videos because I look at any and all comments that come through. I try to answer them as best as possible, especially if they're really, really good comments or questions or feedback that are related to those videos in question. And I really enjoy the engagement. And last but not least, please share my content, share it to friends, family, small business owners, loved ones, especially this particular video, because the topic that we're talking about today is impacting tens of thousands of Americans who are doing business with the federal government, who may or may not be doing business with the federal government, I should say, but especially for my community, we are federal contractors. So this topic in hand is very, very important. And last but not least, please hit that notification bell. You want to hit the notification bell when you subscribe to the channel because that notification, you'll get a pop-up on your screen and it'll let you know whenever I drop relevant content that will empower and inspire you to do business with the DLA and federal contracting at large. And you don't want to be a day late and a dollar short. So hit that notification bell. Okay, cool. I am so excited, guys, to talk to you a little bit about today. Just very high level, but very detailed at the same time as it relates to the topic at hand. But before getting into that, as you guys know, I've been talking since January 1st about my fiscal year 2024 goals of supporting 100 new businesses. Hey guys, this is really, really important to me. So important that I've had a few student clients who have reached out to me with a problem as it relates to their SBA EIDL loans. And it has crippled their ability to do business with the DLA. And so I took it upon myself to really peel the banana peels back on this particular issue. And for me, because I am an engineer by trade, so that, as you guys know, engineers, we love to tinker and take things apart, reconstruct things, and figure out how to fix it. And we are what I guess the world would say, we are Mr. and Mrs. Fix-Its. So engineers, this is what we do. And I took on this task about a month ago, and I think I have cracked the code. I think I've cracked the code because I've helped 2 student clients successfully navigate this. And there is some reprieve, a little bit of, how should I say, a lifeline that was provided to them as a result of their working directly with me through this particular journey. Okay, cool. So economic injury, disaster loans, the SBA economic injury. I don't know why I can't say injury for some reason. You know, the I is just like, I want to say industrial or something, but economic injury disaster loans, the EIDL loans. So if you guys have never heard of the economic injury disaster loans, the EIDL loans, about during the pandemic around 2020, Congress and the Republicans, they were fighting. If you guys kind of remember way back 4 years ago, they were kind of fighting on Capitol Hill and they were trying to figure out, hey, you know, America's on fire. America's on fire. I guess hopefully guys like my background there. And they came up with the PPP loans. As you know, a lot of folks have heard about those loans, that they were forgivable loans. And then they had a segment of, I guess, another type of loan program that was available for non-forgivable. And these were those EIDL loans that basically they gave you a grace period, roughly 24, 36 months. If you took on that loan, and the loans could be up to $2 million, depending on your small business and, you know, how you fill out the application and things like that. And they were basically just kind of just cashing checks, just giving checks out. I think it had like a 3.75% interest rate that was associated with these loans. And they had this kind of grace period. It was basically a disaster. The loan was designed to help small businesses, but if you guys have not heard in the news, it's not really a big news now. It's kind of a buzz because the SBA has recently began to charge off these loans to the US Treasury. And I put in quotations, referred. They are referring loans, and to the tune of over $50 billion worth of loans have been referred to the US Treasury's offset program. Do you guys, if this hasn't happened to your business, or you don't know of a loved one or another business owner or a colleague that they have taken on those EIDL loans and are expressing distress because their loans have been referred to the US Treasury, they are in a world of hurt. The SBA does not have programs in place that are able for you to basically talk to them as it relates to your loan if it's been charged off to the US Treasury. What this really means, in essence, young Americans and old Americans out there, that if your loan, if you took it, because of the pandemic and it was charged off because you were experiencing hardship, or it was charged off because you thought you were making the payments, or it was charged off because you didn't know you had to make the payments, the SBA is saying, talk to the hand, not to the face. And they are charging off these loans in record numbers to the US Treasury. And it's overwhelming the US Treasury. When you try to call the SBA, they say, hey, nothing we can do about it. We no longer service your loan. You got to talk to the US Treasury. Then you try to call the US Treasury, you can never get through. And if you happen to get a lifeline to get through, you're on hold for 4 hours trying to get in contact with a customer service rep who has a script that doesn't really care anything about you, and they have no idea of what's going on with the SBA, because the U.S. Treasury, all they do, they're like bill collectors. They don't care. They're working with the IRS and all these other agencies. All they care about is getting federal money, pulling back in. The real caveat to these SBA EIDL loans, guys, if you took out this loan, you had 30 years to pay the loan back. If it got charged off, that 30 years is off the table. Whatever amount up to $2 million is due today. There is no payment plans. There is nothing that's available unless people like me who have figured out a lane to get some reprieve, some success in this area. Now, it all depends on the type of loan you have and what your individual circumstances. But I put together this presentation because I'm really, really concerned about federal contractors. All right. So, you have different types of folks in the space. All right. You can have companies that have nothing to do with, they don't have a SAM.gov profile, no UEI, no cage code. They can care less about federal contracting. Mom and pop shops, restaurants, barbershops, beauticians, you name it. They basically took advantage of these EIDL loans, and they've been referred to the U.S., may potentially have been referred to the U.S. Treasury. They're in the world of hurt because that debt is due. However, it may not have direct impact on their ability to survive because they're not, going after federal government contracts. However, the other side of the coin is my community, federal contractors. We live and breathe federal contracts, whether it's service-based contracts from SAM.gov, are working in products through the DLA, or even Unison Marketplace and all those other federal marketplaces. So if you guys can kind of think, if your business is dedicated to bidding on federal proposals and you're looking for federal contracts, if your SBA EIDL loan was referred to Treasury to the U.S. Treasury, specifically to the Treasury Offset Program, that term offset means we're taking and confiscating, we're intercepting any federal money that's paid out to you, whether it be tax returns from the U.S. Treasury and or federal payments from the Defense Finance and Accounting Service, DFAS, as well as other payout agencies throughout the federal government landscape, procurement landscape. So this is a big red flag for us as small business owners as it relates to what the SBA is doing, and it's negatively impacting small businesses. And it's basically, for lack of a better word, guys, a shit show. All right. And so if you are a federal contractor, you're in hardship, you're getting phone calls from the SBA saying, hey, rent's due. And you're like, hey, we need some hardship. I think they currently have hardship programs if you're still in good standing. But if your loan has been charged out to the United States Treasury, it's going to be dire, because any contracts that you compete on, and you win, and you're thinking you're going to get paid to kind of keep your business going, all that money is going to be confiscated and paid, and or should I say offset and paid to the US Treasury in support, or until that debt, the EIDL loan value, is paid off. There's a lot of penalties that come associated with it too, guys. I think upwards of maybe 30 to 34% is a penalty they tack on to whatever your SBA loan was originally, once it's referred to the Treasury as well. I mean, it's terrible. All right. So you may be saying, well, how do I know as a federal contractor if I'm in trouble? How do I know this? Because no one's going to give you a phone call. The only way that you're going to find out is that you're going to send an invoice to get paid for a federal contract that you've been working on, and the money will never show up on your doorstep, and you're going to be scratching your head as to why. And you're going to be reaching out to your federal agency. They're going to say, no, we paid you. You're going to be reaching out to your bank and say, hey, did my bank account get hacked? No, there's no breach. And then you're going to say, well, what in the world could be happening? Well, the first indicator is if you get an email from SAM.gov, it's one of those no reply emails, and the subject header says, debt subject to offset, ... You are in trouble. You're in trouble, because now the SBA no longer manages your loan. All right. So not sure if you guys are getting that. And I have my presentation up, so I'm not looking at comments as of yet. I just kind of want to get through these points real quick, guys, and then I'll go ahead and field comments. So as I'm talking, feel free to drop any questions, comments in the chat, and I'll do my best to fill that after my presentation. But I just want to make sure that I'm getting to all of the nuggets that I put together in this presentation for you without distraction. Just bear with me. Almost through it. So what are some recommended steps to appeal the SBA's decision to charge off your small business EIDL loan? And I standing for injury. Injury. We were in injury back during the pandemic, and now we're even more injury when your loan gets charged off to the United States Treasury's Offset Program. All right. First thing that I recommend, you want to review the decision letter thoroughly. Carefully read the decision letter from the SBA that explains the reasons for the charge off. Understand the basis for their decision and the specific issues raised. 9 times out of 10, their reason is because either you were delinquent in payments or you did partial payments, sort of like a house note, guys. Like if you got a mortgage, and let's say your mortgage is $1,500 a month, and you're a small business in distress, and let's say you couldn't afford the $1,500 and you're paying $1,000 towards it, just kind of showing good faith that, hey, I'm paying something against it. And the SBA is looking at saying, hey, that extra $500 that you didn't pay, we consider that delinquent, just like a mortgage would consider, like a mortgage holder. A debt collector will consider that being delinquent. Well, the SBA says that, and if you are delinquent more than 180 days, they will automatically, retroactively refer your debt to the US Treasury. And they've done this to over 10,000 small businesses to date. I believe in the month of January is when the biggest wave that took it up to the $50 billion worth of offset or defaulted loans were referred to the US Treasury. So, hey, read that letter just to make sure what their bases are. But like I said, 9 times out of 10 is going to be because you're delinquent. Number 2, we're going the wrong direction. Number 2, gather documentation. You want to collect all relevant documentation that supports your position. This may include financial statements, business records, or any other evidence that counters the reasons given by the SBA for the charge off. So, for example, I mentioned that some companies thought that they were paying. I've heard stories, horror stories from student clients that have called and said, hey, they had gone into the SBA portal. They had put in there to do a automatic payment. that was on like automatic every month, and the SBA's website did some hiccups, and that was not working. You know how you kind of you shoot a gun, you shoot a gun, you kind of let the bullet just go, and I guess they say fire and forget. Some companies were doing that as it relates to this automatic payments, unbeknownst to them that the SBA's website was just crappy. And so now their loan has been referred to Treasury. And then you get some companies that just said, hell with it, I'm not going to pay anything, and didn't really understand the ramifications of just saying hell with it. And the SBA says, well, you'll never do business with the federal government again, or at least you'll never get paid until that debt is offset. That debt is completely covered through, the debt is completely covered through the offset program. But still, you want to gather your documentation. You want to gather all your facts, have everything in order, because it's going to be important to have a nice file on what has transpired since the time that you signed that loan to where you are to date. So you want to begin gathering financial statements, bank statements, any kind of records, anything that you can show that, hey, SBA, we were trying to pay you, but you just weren't taking our money. All right. So those are some of those cases there. Number 3, you want to consider mediation. In some cases, the SBA may offer mediation. And I say some cases, the 3 cases or so that 2 cases were in fact that I helped a client. The other case, we're still kind of working through some of the details. But you want to just, some cases the SBA may be able to have a conversation with you. Right now, I think on Capitol Hill, the director of the SBA program, she had mentioned that they have a fairly robust hardship program that you can apply for. But again, that all depends on if you're just in hardship and the SBA is still servicing your debt. But the whole idea here, guys, is that we want to try to figure out how to appeal the decision. All right. And so you want to be able to draft a fairly robust appeal letter. You want to prepare a formal letter addressing each point raised by the SBA in a decision letter. All right. Well, by the SBA's decision. All right. So you want to put this all in a nice, pen to paper. You want to have your thoughts. You want to be clearly articulate why you believe the charge off is unwarranted and provide supporting evidence. You want to be concise and focused in your arguments. That's highly recommended that you guys start working on your appeal letter to kind of, plead your case. All right. And after you come up with the appeal letter, you want to submit the appeal. Now, you may say, who do I get this appeal letter to? Well, in my experience working with my clients, when we sent the appeal letter to the SBA, we got a very generic response back saying there's nothing we can do about it. We no longer service your debt. Go talk to the Treasury Offset Program, which stands for TOP. Their acronym is TOP. And so when calling TOP, if you can get through their firewall, the 4-hour hold, trying to get through their phone line, and guys, it's terrible. They don't have a website. They don't have an email address or anything that's really available to the public. Unless you know someone like me who has found a path on the other side. But if you're just kind of taking it from YouTube University and just kind of getting some of the nuggets of some things you can do, this is what you would do. And you want to submit your appeal to the TOP program. And if you're able to get through that phone number there that they provide, they may be able to give you some guidance, or they will give you some guidance on where you can submit the appeal. But, in my experience, that doesn't necessarily work all the way. However, on a case-by-case basis, it may work for you. Number 6, you want to follow up. You want to follow up with the TOP, the Treasury Offset Program, once you submit your appeal, because they will not contact you. All right. Once you submit your appeal and you submit it over to those guys, it'll be weeks. Nothing will happen. And the only thing that's happening with your business, especially if you have invoices that you submitted to DFAS and payment for DLA contracts that you've completed, all those payments will be intercepted by the US Treasury, which will render your business unable to operate. Because as you guys know, those invoices that you submit to DFAS, that includes your profit and your cost of goods sold. It includes all of that money that it took in order to get that product procured bagged, tagged, shipped, working with your manufacturers, working with your vendor base, that money is not profit that's being intercepted. So it's a big, big deal for you as DLA contractors as it relates to doing business with the DLA if your SBA EIDL loan has been charged off. Okay, so you want to make sure you do a follow-up because it's really, really important in order for you guys to stay solvent and being able to do business with the DLA. Now, let's say through all these 6 steps, you're still not really getting the answers that you need. You also want to consider legal action. Legal action meaning the appeal process does not yield a satisfactory resolution. You may explore legal options. You want to consult with your attorney who specializes, or a attorney, I should say, who specializes in SBA matters. You want to make sure you have your original loan documents in hand. A lot of folks during, the pandemic, it's, they didn't read the fine print of those loan documents and really understanding what the ramifications would be because, hey, we were like scrambling around. I remember being, in the pandemic, as well as many other businesses, we were just worried about how many masks and hand sanitizer we could get if we could just pay, keep the lights on. So there's a lot of stress on a lot of Americans in what was going on back then. We all, it was 4 years ago, but we all remember it very well. All right. So a lot of things were done. The SBA, shame on them it was great that they were trying to help Americans, but shame on them for not understanding really what the ramifications would be as it relates to small businesses and how this would negatively impact small businesses down the line. All right. So legal action may be a recourse for you, but I'd like to end this with number 8. You want to consult with professionals. And I highlight this in green, highlighting green because you want to consult with professionals. You want to have, business professionals who have experience like myself in SBA matters. We definitely are here to provide some insights for the specific regulations and the procedures that can help you potentially build a stronger case when you go to the table to appeal. And I am currently working on another masterclass. Yes, a masterclass that's going to teach you federal contractors who are, interested in working with the federal government or who are jammed up now and have big contracts where you're waiting to get paid and your money is being offset. I'm working on a masterclass that's going to help you navigate how to get yourself out of this jam. All right. I've helped 2 other companies get out of this jam, working on a third. And I'm almost positive that if I'm able to talk a little bit about your condition, that I might be able to shed a little light if I can help you as well. It is important to note that the specific appeal process may vary depending on the nature of the charge-off and the SBA's policies. Therefore, it is advisable to consult with professionals like myself who can provide guidance tailored to your specific situation. All right. So I really wanted to kind of just have a little bit of a lifeline with today's presentation. I'm not exactly sure how many of you guys are out there that are being negatively impacted by the Treasury Offset Program. How large is your debt? How many DLA contracts do you have in works? How many SAM.gov contracts do you have in works? That could definitely cripple your business and your ability to thrive and to do exactly what the EIDL loan was designed to do, is to kind of help you not go out of business, right? Yeah, it's kind of an oxymoron, but it is what it is, guys. And that's where a lot of Americans are at. And the DLA Guru is to the rescue. Now, you may say, well, DLA Guru, how do I get in contact with you? Well, you get in contact with me by, if you check in the chat, there's a link that I provided in the chat at the very top of the chat. You can schedule a 15-minute pre-screening phone call with me, the DLA Guru. Now, this 15-minute pre-screening phone call is about talking everything and anything related to the DLA, federal contracting, and now this SBA EIDL loan. I'd like to kind of talk a little bit about this with you, find out what your unique situation is, and then I'll let you know if I can definitely help you get out of that jam, as I've helped 2 other companies. And I feel pretty confident that I might be able to help a lot of folks. So feel free to spread the news, spread the love that there is some reprieve. There are some contractors, some professionals out there like myself that we're taking this on and engineering it, I should say. Now, if that's not your condition and you're just like, hey, I just want to learn more about the DLA, feel free to give me a call, 15-minute pre-screening phone call. We'll schedule a call with you. Give me a call. We'll talk anything and everything related to your business, finding out the DLA is something that I think may be good for you. And then I may have some recommended training programs that can take you along the lines, down the path, I should say, to getting set up to do business with the DLA and hit where you can hit the ground running. There are links that I'll provide in the video description on the replay, and it may actually be in there now, where you can reach out to me to learn a little bit more about some of my training programs and how to join my members only content with the CMCC channel. Yes, you guys want to join me over in my closed circuit content that we'll be doing today. Shortly after this presentation, you have to join at the Brigadier General level in order to meet me in my closed circuit forum. And I'm looking forward to talking with you today. There should be, I don't know if I put it in the chat. Let me check to see if I put that in the chat where you guys can also join me. All right, here, let me bring this over. You guys can join me over in there. Here, I want to put the join button down here because a lot of folks, they always say, hey, DLA Guru, I don't know exactly how to join. There should be a join button right there on the homepage of the YouTube channel, but if you don't happen to see it there, you can I'm putting it in the chat right now if you guys want to meet us today, because I will be over there for 2 hours for all my Brigadier General level members, as well as with any of my Patreon members. And so for those of you in the Patreon community, if you are in the building, feel free to go log into your Patreon. And in the community forum, I have put the link to the StreamYard for you to join me over here in StreamYard. Feel free to go ahead and click on that. And for my Brigadier General level members, you are also able to find the StreamYard join link in the YouTube community chat. It's strictly for Brigadier General. So once you see it there, go ahead and click on that link and that'll get you over into my StreamYard for today. Okay, great. So, thank you again for watching. If you have any direct questions, as you can see on the screen there, as well as below my chin, my email address is fed.contracting@nmsupply.com. Feel free to send me an email. Ask me any questions that you guys may have, whether it be DLA related or this SBA EIDL loan debacle, and I'll see how I can potentially help you to the best of my ability. Okay, let's see. Do we have any new comments? I know I had a long presentation there, guys. Thank you for your ear. Doesn't like we have any new comments. All right, so I switched over to another screen now so I can kind of look at the comments. I was looking strictly at my PowerPoint there, so I was kind of like just buried my head into the content there. So let's see. Do we have any Brigadier Generals in the building? Because I don't see any of them in the StreamYard right now. Any Brigadier Generals, go ahead and reach out to me. Let me know that you're in the building there. And if you guys are over on the StreamYard side of the coin, check in the chat within the notification section. And that's where you'll find the link to bring you over to my StreamYard. And once I have you guys in the StreamYard, we'll be moving over to our members only content today. So we have 8 concurrent viewers in the building, 7 likes. Thank you for the love. Hey, by the way, any of the viewers that are out there, is anyone experiencing any distress as it relates to these SBA EIDL loans? Let me know. Just drop a little message in the chat. Or if you're not experiencing distress, or if you may know of someone, friend, family member who is experiencing distress. Or even let me know if this is a new topic, if you've never even heard of this, because like I said, guys, it's going to be it's buzzing, and I think it's probably going to be something that when they do the for the elections is going to be a topic for your vote as well. because so many Americans are being impacted negatively by this. So, hey, give me some engagement because I don't want to just sit here and just kind of talk to myself. I see 8 concurrent viewers, 7 likes. Let me know what you're thinking. Go ahead and send me a comment so we can kind of talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right, let's see. Do we have, let me double check here in my community. Want to make sure I'm not missing any chat messages, direct messages. Nothing I'm missing over here in Patreon. Okay. All right. And for my Patreon members, also, yeah, you want to come over in this YouTube link here that you can find in Patreon. This is the public forum so that you can definitely ask questions either in the YouTube side or in the Patreon side. And I can answer questions on both because I got all these windows up, and that's why my eyes are kind of moving all around. By the way, guys, if you're wondering, like, where is he looking? Yeah, I'm looking over here in Patreon as well. It doesn't seem like I'm having any no one is sending me any chats over here in Patreon, so that's great. Okay, cool. All right, so James, congratulations again on your 2 contract awards. I want you to just kind of throw that out there, man. I'm really curious to find out a little bit more about your contracts. Not exactly sure if you've upgraded to the Brigadier General level or not, but hey, man, this might be a great time to do that if you haven't, so we can talk a little bit about it because I'm excited to find out if these were service-able, veteran-owned set-aside contracts and all that good stuff. That would be fantastic to learn more about your contracts, as well as Firebird Optics. Have you experienced any success recently as well as it relates to DLA contracts? All right, we got 9 concurrent viewers in the building. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, James. Did not upgrade. Well, hey, James. Well, I got a lot of content out there, man. You're an engineer, man. Maybe you've figured out how to kind of get around that. But they were regular non-set aside contracts. Okay, all right, non-set aside. Hey, man, it's so many different ways to skin the cat with the DLA. But congratulations to you, as as it relates to that. Hey, man, if you run into any issues and you're getting jammed up, you know exactly where to find me, James. So I'm here at your whim there. Anyone in the building experiencing any issues related to the SBA EIDL loan charge-offs? I'm curious to find out in this community on the DLA side, the federal contracting side, because I researched this online, and there were a couple of YouTube content creators that are out there. I think it's like 3 that I ran across that are talking about this issue, but they're not really talking about the impact as is having on federal contractors. And guys, the Department of Treasury is no joke. If you're a federal contractor, you do not want to get jammed up with that. So let me know, members in the building there, as we wait for my brigadier generals to come across to get active with me today. Wow, you just hit number 34 this week. Wow, let me put that up on the screen. That is worthy of a screen of a post for the world to see that. Hey, Firebird Optics, that's fantastic, man. You hit the 34th contract this week. And I remember us doing a contracting 101, and I believe that you've been doing contracting with the DLA. Is that the past 24 months? Is that, let me know. How long have you, when was your first award? How long ago was your first award? Okay. He says, Firebird Optics says 2 more COTS, 1. Okay, I'm not exactly sure COTS what the acronym stands for. COTS ones and 1 Tech Doc one last week. Okay, great. Maybe COT is commercial off the shelf. Maybe that's what it stands for. Yeah, it looks like 2 more commercial off the shelf ones and 1 Tech Doc. So typically the Tech Doc ones are, custom manufacturing ones. All right, so congratulations to you on that. Okay. Yeah, and Firebird Optics. Yeah, how long have you been a DLA contractor? When was your first award? Like, how many months ago was your first award? Kind of, I guess James is asking some questions there in the chat to trying to kind of get an idea of your time frame that you've had it. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, COTS, commercial off the shelf. Yeah, that's exactly. Thanks, James. Thanks for that. Okay. So Firebird Optics says he has been. Hey, round of applause to you, man. He has been bidding on federal. You know what? I'm gonna do a round of applause for you, as well as give you the roar, the lion roar, because you've been working. You've been working since April 2023. And you've landed 34 DLA contracts. That is super fantastic. Congratulations to you. It just kind of shows, hey, you bid often, and you go after what you know. And the DLA is a viable federal contractor. I mean, federal agency. I'm sorry. The DLA is a viable federal agency that you can sell and drop ship products to. It was fantastic. And with those rewards, Fiber Optics, now you have past performance information. You can add that to your capability statement so that if you're going after service-based contracts or just bigger deals where you may be able to do some joint ventures and things like that on the SAM.gov side of it, now you have some relevant DLA past performance contracting information that is like golden in the federal contracting space. So congratulations to you to show that you can win 1, 2, 3, up to 34 and beyond. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about your contracting activities and your successes as time goes on as well. So kudos to you. Fantastic. All right, cool. So we got Firebird Optics saying he's looking to join Brigadier General. Yeah. Hey, man, today might be the day. Some of these contracts that you got just to make sure. But I mean, if you won 34 contracts, yeah, you probably have hit a stride. So that's fantastic. But great. Joining the Brigadier General community is not only about helping you navigate with those contracts, but it's also, having an audience of other like-minded individuals, companies that are in the federal contract arena, working with the DLA, where there may be some networking opportunities for you and just like the scaling opportunities. That's really what this community is all about. I'm surprised I don't have any Brigadier Generals in the building yet, because we are 50 minutes into it. And again, you guys know I don't like to go closed circuit unless I have at least a quorum, at least 3 Brigadier General members and or Patreon, because I know we have the members in my membership community. But no one's taking advantage of the access to yours truly, DLA Guru. So I think this is maybe the second time that I've had one of these live streams and hadn't had any of the paid members show up. So I'm here at your disposal. I'm here for for you. So you got to show up in order to gain access to me. Let's see here. Thanks again for that comment there, Fiber Optics, and congratulations to you again. All right. So no one's talking about the subject at hand, the SBA EIDL loans. Let me ask you this, James, Firebird Optics, have you guys even heard about the SBA EIDL loan charge-offs? Is that new news? Am I bringing some new information to you today? As I take a look at my chat here, see if anybody's saying anything to me. Okay, so all right, James, you haven't heard anything about it. Okay, fantastic, man. Yeah, it's gonna be big business. It's getting ready to be big news. There's a little bit of a buzz on Capitol Hill, but as you guys know, the federal government, with all the red tape, it takes forever for things to move. Even though the SBA EIDL loan was pretty quick, but the aftermath is crippling so many companies. And I want to do my part to get the message out, because I'm all about federal contracting community. So, all right, James, you never heard of it. So fantastic, man. Now you have. The DLA Guru was the first. Hey, you can say, hey, I heard it from DLA Guru was talking about these EIDL loan charge-offs. Yeah, man. I want to kind of get this channel to be a little bit more than, well, of course, monopoly focus on DLA, but I want to cover all the different bases of things that are related to DLA contractors. I want to protect this tribe here, guys. So that's why I'm getting this information out and really taking the charge to make sure I have the necessary tools, programs, processes to inspire and enlighten you guys for success with the DLA. I've just given myself a battlefield promotion to Brigadier General. Laugh out loud. You just giving yourself a battlefield promotion to Brigadier General. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, 34 contracts. Yeah, definitely. That's a battlefield promotion for sure. You're in the trenches indeed. And hey, man, it's a great trench to be in. And oh, no, actually, it just came in. So, yeah, you are now upgraded to the Brigadier General member level. Firebird Optics, congratulations to you. Let me go ahead and throw it on the screen. Yes, applause to you. Fantastic for the upgrade. Fantastic for the upgrade, Firebird Optics. So, hey, with that said, now if you look in the community chat, the community forum that's for my channel. So go to the home page of the channel, and you'll see the community forum tab. You click in that, and there should be a current comment or the most recent comment that you'll see in there, and it's going to give you the StreamYard link. Click that link, and it'll bring you to StreamYard. I'll have you in my waiting room, and then I'll invite you into StreamYard where we can do a closed circuit. And for any other folks that are out there in the building that may be taking a look at it and just trying to decide if they want to join us in the closed circuit chat today, in the chat, I believe I put it in there. Let me pin it to the top just in case it kind of got lost in the shuffle. I think I can pin it. Let me see. No, I can't pin it from there. How do I pin this? Yeah, I thought I could pin it from StreamYard. StreamYard doesn't let you do pins. So I have to pin it from the YouTube space. There it is. I see it right there. I'm going to pin it to the top of the chat. Replace pin message. Yes, I'm replacing the pin message. So it's at the very top of the chat there. Feel free to click that link. Join us on the other side. And Firebird Optics, I'm not sure because you haven't come over here in the StreamYard side of the coin. So, hey, I'll go closed circuit once you come over in the StreamYard here. Let me know if I didn't give very distinct instructions or clear instructions, I should say, on how you can join me over here in StreamYard. But again, for those of you who may just be channeling in now, hey, Artemis, hey, man, hey, Tess, I see you in the building, Artemis. Yes, thank you. I haven't talked to you in a little while, Artemis. So welcome back. I see you. Let me put it up on the screen there. Boom, boom, boom. Artemis says he's testing out the chat. And welcome back. I think Artemis has been killing the game as well. Artemis, hey, you may have missed a little bit. I'm not sure how much of the today's live stream you've seen, but today's topic is talking about SBA EIDL loan charge-offs to the US Treasury. You missed the presentation, but here, let me actually take it back a couple of slides just for those of you that may be a little late to my content, or late to the actually not content, but late to the live stream today. Put that on the screen there for you. But we're talking anything and everything related to these charge-offs that have been happening with the SBA, and it's been pretty terrible what has happened to a lot of small business federal contractors. And so anyway, I just kind of have this up on screen. You can kind of read it yourself there as I wait for Firebird Optics to come over to the closed circuit live stream. I see you in the chat there. You upgraded, but I don't see you over here. You upgraded to Brigadier General, correct? Let me make sure. So, I mean, it says you upgraded as a new member, so I'm not sure if that's Brigadier General or not. So let me make sure while I'm waiting on you. You may not actually be in the Brigadier General community just yet. Let me make sure you upgraded. Yeah, you're Brigadier General. Yeah, fantastic. I see you in here. So Fiber Optics, come on over to my side. Come on over to my side. Yes, for sure. All right. Okay, let me see here. Boom. Yeah, Fiber Optic says he had heard that the loans, yeah. So there were the PPP loans that were forgivable, and then there's these EIDL loans that were non-forgivable, right? And so they were basically like taking out, a 30-year mortgage, basically, is how the SBA set this thing up. They had up to maximum $2 million. I think a lot of Americans were taking advantage of like the $100,000 price point as far as these loans, 3.75% interest over, or, amortized over 30 years. And, a lot of companies were kind of coming out of the pandemic, but still not exactly ready, not like, back on track as they were prior to the pandemic. And that can definitely happen for federal contractors, as it relates to the supply chain. And what I mean by that is, if you had vendors or manufacturers that you were working with and they, went out of business. And so, like, your lifeblood and how you were supporting the US military or federal contracts just kind of, it just wasn't as robust any longer. It's taking you a little bit more time to get back on track. And so now the SBA is saying, hey, loans are due. And you're like, hey, SBA, I don't have it. And they're like, we don't care. And then they're just referring your debt to Treasury. And it's just like, without it, with it's just, the way that the program was designed, it was designed to help small businesses. Now it's destroying small businesses. You guys, hey, fact check me. Just start researching it. Do a little search online, with these keywords: SBA, economic injury, disaster loan charge-offs, and you'll be surprised at what's happening behind the scenes. The SBA is kind of keeping it hush hush because it's so negatively impacting small businesses. And for those of you who may be in this bind, beware. If your loan has been charged off, any federal contracts that you're working on, when you invoice your federal agency, the money will be intercepted. Every single dollar. They won't just intercept 10%, 20%. They're intercepting 100% of the federal contract award value. And they're going to pay off what's owed to the SBA first and then give you what's in the balance. And that can be quite crippling for small businesses. So if you guys are looking for a way out, a lifeline, someone to talk to consult with, the DLA Guru. I've spent the past month researching this, helping 2 clients actually get their loans, should I say, not necessarily forgiven, but they've been able to negotiate with the Treasury Offset Program. And I got some points of contact direct with the Treasury Offset Program, not the 800 number and this generic email. I got some people on the inside that are taking a look at cases on an individual basis. And there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears on my end in order to get access to these folks on the inside. And so I'm offering that through a masterclass that I'm putting together. And I'm hoping that the masterclass, I'll be releasing that sometime next week. I'm just doing some final touches on it. And I think it's going to be a class that's definitely going to help tons of Americans. So if you guys know, again, friends, family members, it looks like no one in my immediate community, the DLA community, is having these issues, at least on the live stream, because no one's really talking about it in the chat. But if you happen to be experiencing this and you don't want to kind of talk about it in the public forum here, feel free to book a 15-minute pre-screening phone call. I can learn a little bit more about you, your unique situation, how this could affect your company doing business with the DLA and or other federal agencies. And if there's anything that I may be able to offer from a consulting perspective to assist you with moving forward. Yeah. Hey, Firebird Optics, I see you are in the building. You have made it into the StreamYard arena. Fantastic. It looks like you are not, I don't know if your camera is on or not, but I have, oh, hey, Ephraim's in the building. Ephraim's in the building. Ephraim is another Brigadier General level member in the building, hailing from Israel. Hey, Ephraim, pleasure to join us today. I was kind of wondering where my Brigadier Generals are at, and I'm looking on the Patreon side. I don't see anybody on the Patreon side right now either, but at least we got 2 Brigadier Generals in the building. Hey, Ephraim, I was just getting ready to go closed circuit, so go ahead and look in the community chat or the community forum for our site, and you can find the link that will get you over to StreamYard, because we got another Brigadier General that's in the StreamYard waiting room right now. So we're just waiting on you to enter the building, and we'll be able to talk anything and everything related to the DLA. And Ephraim, I know you sent me over a solicitation that you've been working on, and you want to kind of talk a little bit about that today. So today we'll have 2 hours with me to talk a little bit about that. Fantastic. All right, great. All right, I see Firebird Optics. He's cammed up there. Let me see if I got any more questions. Here, let me pop this last question up before we go to the members only content. Artemis, again, welcome back, Artemis. He says, are you going to do any more interviews with your members that have been getting contracts like you did a few weeks ago? Yeah, Artemis, you know, they've been fantastic. Hey, man, if you're interested in doing an interview with me, send me an email. You can email me at thefed.contracting@nmsupply.com. Yeah, it'd be great to kind of hear a little bit about your successes as it relates to your new journey with the DLA. And yeah, man, you may be a fantastic candidate to kind of do a little promotion about who you are, your company. And, you know, you'll be kind of promoted to a broader audience, and you can inspire and empower other small business contractors to get involved in the DLA as well. So feel free, you know where to reach me, Artemis. Yeah, man, I think you'll be a great success story to talk a little bit about. Okay, without any further ado, I want to say thanks again for all of those in the general public arena. Thanks for watching my content. Thank you for being you. Thank you for, going after the DLA contracts, because the DLA, the warfighter, needs each and every one of you, including our company, in order to support the U.S. military so that they can do what they do best. And they need those products from professionals like us that know how to get those products to them. And what we're going to be doing now, let's see, we have to switch the content over from the public forum to the live stream. It's closed circuit. So visibility is going to be switching to members only. And we're only going to be talking to Brigadier General level members or higher. We got that there. So we're going to be going what I like to say, incognito, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, cool. So another question that I get a lot from folks is, hey, is the DLA DIBBS right for you? And I think a lot of folks are a little skittish about getting involved with government contracting or scheduling 101s or getting involved in Masterclasses because they're not exactly sure if the investment is right for them. And so what I have decided to do, I created a way that you guys can reach out to me and schedule time to talk directly to me. Yours truly, the DLA Guru. You can schedule a 15-minute pre-screening phone call with me. And I think what I've found, because I've had a few people who have participated or took advantage of my 15-minute pre-screening phone call, what I'm finding is I'm able to kind of talk with you to find out, do you have what it takes? Just by where you're at in your life, what your company is all about. And I'm not here to, what should I say, steal dreams, but I'm also here to kind of give you a dose of reality. I'm not the type of guy that's going to pander and sell you pipe dreams and make you feel like you can walk on water, because you have to believe that you can walk on water, so it really comes from who you are deep down, because entrepreneurism is something where you're not born an entrepreneur. Well, I'll take it back. I think you are born an entrepreneur, but you are forged through trial and error to really not die or fall by the wayside. That's what entrepreneurism is about, in my opinion. And so what I decided to do is create the 15-minute pre-screening phone call. I'll drop this in the chat right now for you guys to take a look at that. You can go ahead and click that link, bookmark it, and I'll also provide it in the video description for the replay. For those of you who are seeing the content outside of the live stream, if you're interested in reaching out to yours truly, the DLA Guru, to talk a little bit about what your company is all about. All right. So it's a pre-screening link. Schedule a 15-minute call with me, and we can talk shop. And if you are, a little bit more beyond like a 15-minute and you just want to kind of like touch the surface, I also have created a members only content channel where it's kind of like it's closed circuit, deep dive into actual DLA solicitations, Members, they meet with me bi-monthly, as I talked about at the beginning of this video, where you guys are able to mic up and cam up in a closed circuit session on a live YouTube stream and talk with me real shop about what you're going through as it relates to DLA solicitations, national stock numbers, things of that nature. So I recommend, if you're really trying to figure out DLA or DIBBS is right for you, give it a month or two. Go ahead and join my members only content through the CMCC program, which stands for Channel Members Command Center. And that's a way that you can invest in yourself as well. We have a closed circuit catalog of, I call it the CMCC video vault of pre-recorded content from last year into this year that will give you 2 hours sessions of real, like, life, real time DLA solicitations, and you get to hear from other folks who are new to DLA, and you can kind of learn from them as to what they're going through, and then to really decide if it's really something that's for you. And I think that the members only vault, or the members only channel or content, may be great for you too, if you're trying to decide if DLA and DIBBS is right for you as well. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat as well. Just click the chat button there. All right, so feel free to click that link and to bookmark it, because that's how you can join the CMCC. From my understanding, some folks, you can see the join button right at the bottom of the YouTube screen here, I think at the bottom of the video. But I think if you have a Samsung phone or an iPhone or something like that, the join button may not be very visible to you. And if it's not, take a look at the chat, and I'll also put this link in the description for the video, for the replay as well, for those of you that don't see the join button readily available. And if none of this works, feel free to go to the home page of my YouTube channel, and there should be a members only join button there. There's a lot that I've put together for the members only, not only from videos, but I also interact with you guys through my community forum, where it gives you more of a deeper dive into what it's like to be a DLA vendor. So hopefully that can answer the question, is DLA right for you? And I got a few more questions in the chat that I see populating here, and I'm definitely going to answer those questions. I just want to kind of get through the last couple of slides here, and then I'll go do a little deeper dive into your questions. And so for those of you who are kind of like, okay, great, I think I have what it takes. I've been on SAM.gov. I'm kind of getting really, I guess, deterred from GovCon, because I've been on a few RFPs. We put plenty of time and energy, and we're not winning there. And it just seems like this GovCon space is not for me. But you may be interested in getting involved with the DLA, because I think it is definitely an easier way to win contracts when you're in the GovCon space. Well, I have taken the liberty to create some masterclasses that I think will definitely benefit you along your journey in getting involved with the DLA, so that you can be successful in hitting the ground running. And so I have one masterclass that I have four different masterclasses available to you. The first one that I launched, my flagship, is the 8 steps to successful federal supply contract bid submissions to the DLA. It's a fantastic course, and I consider it my pre-award masterclass for those of you who are new to GovCon or new to the DLA and just kind of want to see what it's really all about. I highly recommend you take a look at that particular class. And then we also have our post-award DLA masterclass, which is the 4 steps to general post-award processes to successfully complete supply contracts with the DLA. Very long name, but basically I wanted to just kind of let you know that this masterclass is all about, hey, you got an award, what do you do now? And this is a great masterclass that helps you learn how to interpret the contract language, helps you to do the labeling, the packaging, the shipping, and then the invoicing. Because why go through all this if you can't invoice the DLA correctly to get paid within the allotted time? So cash flow is key in this space. So you got to make sure you're not making mistakes to basically inhibit the cash flow from happening within 30 days, right? Because if you make mistakes, sometimes it can take upwards of 90 days to fix that mistake, and that can be very detrimental to your business. And of course, I have a third masterclass, what I highly recommend, especially if you guys are looking to do business internationally and to get products manufactured internationally. And if you run across national stock numbers where you need to have access to export controlled documents, you'll need to have EJCP certification under your belt in order to know what to do and how to manage those types of drawings in order to do business with NATO countries, or should I say 28 of those qualifying country lists. For example, we do business with some manufacturers based out in Canada. So we do a lot of exchange of tech data in order to make sure that we are building products to support the warfighter, and everything is legal as it relates to that. All right, so I named that class 4 Steps to Fast Track Enhanced JCP Certification, which stands for Joint Certification Program, and that's between the U.S. government and Canada, and well, at least as it relates to the countries that fall within JCP. We haven't done manufacturing as it relates to countries outside of Canada, as it relates to using JCP. But if you are finding countries or companies in those countries that can build those products, working hand in hand with the DLA and also the JCP team will allow you to understand the ins and outs of what the requirements are in order to share tech data with those countries in order to get those products manufactured. But again, that's a higher level training as it relates to working with me to assist you guys in that arena. And last but not least, if you are the type of student client that likes to learn by interactive learning or workshops where it's a real-time video feed where we're sitting down, you and I virtually, I've launched a 3-day virtual workshop training that allows you to meet with me 3 days consecutively, where we work for 4 hours via a Zoom phone call, where we're going to talk everything DLA. We're going to look at solicitations that you may be going after. And again, I consider this an advanced training. So this is a kind of a vendor workshop that I've designed for companies that are active with the DLA, who have won awards and things of that nature, because this deep dive, this 3-day training not only goes through the DLA solicitations, but it goes through your actual contract awards to help you, package, label, and interpret the data there, as well as assist you in day 3 with vendor development, things that we're talking about as far as NATO countries, or even working with mom and pop shops here in the United States, and how you can communicate with those vendors, how you can build a stronger relationship with those vendors, how you can apply for credit terms and things of that nature in order to grow your product supply distribution business in support of federal contracts. So these 4 master classes are available. I have the link on screen there. I'll also put it in the chat for you guys if you're interested in learning a little bit more about my master classes as it relates to supporting your businesses and helping to grow your businesses, so that you're just not kind of out there. And keep in mind, everything that I'm talking about here has a lot to do with that 100 new business vision that I have. So we got a lot of businesses that are getting involved and are getting the information. And that way, we're all kind of on the same page as we move forward, versus kind of me taking a step back. It's sort of like being in the classroom where you got the kid, unfortunately, that might need some tutors and things, and they just kind of they're not with the pack, and so we're looking to have folks that hit the ground running, or with the pack, so we can go after big opportunities and not make mistakes along the way, and we can all get our piece of the DLA pie. So I just put that in the chat as well, so feel free to click that link, bookmark it if you're kind of thinking a little bit about it. Once you register as well, you'll get access to some free videos that talk more about an outline of what the masterclass is all about before you actually decide to commit to the masterclass. So just your registration will kind of get you in the right area to knowing more about which masterclass may be suited for you. And of course, if you decide to reach out to me for the 15-minute pre-screening phone call, we can talk a little bit more about it, and I can kind of assess what masterclass I think will be best for you. But yeah, so all that's kind of been put together for you guys in support of your success with doing business with the world's largest customer, the DLA. As you guys know, the DLA does about $50 billion a year. That's 50 with a B for billion, in spend and buying products and services in support of the world's largest military, the US Department of Defense. And so the DLA is the conduit between getting your piece of the pie. And hey, guess what? The DLA Guru, I put this stuff together to try to give you guys, to empower you and to inspire you for success with the DLA. So thanks again for watching today's presentation. I know I got a few messages in the chat that I'll cover in a second here, but if you're interested in learning more about what I've talked about today, and you're interested in doing a one-on-one contractor consultation please feel free to reach out to me at the email address that you see on screen there, fed.contracting@nmsupply.com, because that is how you can link with me. I can kind of get to know who you are. And I'll go ahead and share my schedule with you guys, or how you can schedule a 30-minute contractor consultation with me, or a 1-hour contractor consultation with me to talk anything and everything related to the DLA and GovCon in general.
Thanks again for watching, and for tuning in to this exciting announcement. I'm Parker Winslow, signing out.